Hello, my little freaks and freakettes. My name is Crucimix, and it has been quite a while. I feel like that's almost part of my intro at this point because of how often I say it. I mean, my work ethic is just garbage. But in my defense, virtually nothing has happened in the past month. It's been a real drought for drama. I mean, I could really milk it. I could talk about Falls or something, but that's just kind of lame. That's kind of boring. That's kind of played out. I've kind of done that already. Basically, the only drama that has happened at all recently has been the whole shitstorm around this little video game you might recognize called Hogwarts Legacy. Now, to be perfectly honest with every single one of you, I had basically no interest in this. It seemed like the most boring thing to talk about possible. I'm not gonna lie, it had none of my attention at first. And honestly, I thought I was gonna die in a couple days. I thought I would be already late to the party if I made a video whenever I first noticed this, but it's kind of managed to stick around and even hit a third stride. It's hit a new arc recently. And they accomplished this by making one simple, tiny change to the drama. They added in VTubers. Now it is perfect. It now has my attention. Now, if you don't know what a VTuber is, I'll go ahead and enlighten you. They're these 3D CG avatar anime girls that are used by people who want to anonymously, stream on Twitch and YouTube and places like that. But before the anime girls enter this situation, I've got to give you context for what's going on. So this little game, Hogwarts Legacy, came out, and a group of people on Twitter, a very sizable, large group of people on Twitter, decided that this was the hill they were willing to die on. They wanted this game to die before it even hit the shelves. They wanted it to never sell a single copy. So they started a boycott, which ultimately ended up having basically no effect at all, whatsoever, and it completely failed, blew up in their faces, and made them look like a laughingstock. Honestly, they should have seen this coming though. I mean, when is the last time you remember a boycott actually doing anything? Anyway, you might be asking yourself, why do they stake their entire existence on the failure of this game? Why do they hate it so badly? The answer is actually rather simple, and I'm sure most of you know. The author of Harry Potter, J.K. Rowling, has said some spicy things in the past, and I'm not sure how I feel about them. I don't really have an opinion. I don't really care all that much, actually. She's apparently what you might call a trans-exclusionary radical feminist, which I don't really care what any of those words mean. I don't really care about politics. Do not look for an opinion of mine, because I will not give it to you. Actually, I am whatever you are not. I am your enemy. I hate you, and I believe the opposite of whatever you believe. Unless you subscribe to me, in which case I will personally change my political opinions to whatever you believe just for you. Anyway, the idea is J.K. Rowling apparently has some kind of problem with trans people, and this is reason to not support anything using her IP, regardless of whether or not she was involved in the process of creating said thing. Now, even if you agree with this line of thinking, I gotta ask, where were you whenever those Fantastic Beasts movies were coming out? Because this was already kind of happening. She was already under fire for this exact thing whenever those movies were coming out, and there was no boycott, there was nothing like that. Maybe there was, and I just wasn't privy to it, but this is much larger than that. And what's weirder is the absolute lack of anything happening. I mean, she hasn't said anything, she hasn't done anything recently, she's kind of just been sitting on her little throne of money. I mean, even if this boycott worked, she just has so much money, it's not gonna do anything. The only people it actually hurt is the people who, made the game. Anyway, that's enough ranting and raving. Why don't I show you some examples of the little bit of chaos that has been born from this whole situation? So this image was floating around for a little while. I don't know where its source is, and honestly I don't care all that much, but apparently some very distraught person, someone who was really mad at J.K. Rowling for this video game that she was not involved in, decided to smash a collector's edition of this video game, and then take a photo of it for a little bit of internet clout. I mean, this is a $300 thing, and you're supporting them anyway. No one profits from this. No one except for the people you don't want profiting from this. Really makes you wonder whether this is daddy's money or from a disability check or something, because I know this person did not pay for this on their own. This next person says, seeing the Twitch viewer count for Hogwarts makes me feel ill, man. So many of you just truly do not fucking care, and it sucks. It's not the people who actively want people like me dead who make it impossible to live, it's the people like you who just do nothing. Now, if you thought this was a schizo sentiment, just wait until you see these next examples, because it gets kind of weird. The weird conclusions people draw about these theoretical people buying this game out of malice or something is just incredible. This one being a prime example of absolute schizophrenia. I have no idea what this person is on, and I could not tell you what they were thinking. They said, "I'm sorry you were deeply invested in Wizard World as a child. I was deeply invested in the American Imperial War Machine as an adult. So much that I killed for it, and will spend the rest of my life trying to make amends. You're not a kid anymore, it's time to grow." As we all know, committing murder for the military-industrial complex is the exact same as buying a small children's game. Nothing says grown up like throwing a hissy fit on Twitter about a video game. This next person says, "The truth is that if you buy that new Wizard game, you are financially supporting the literal genocide of trans people." Just had to unfollow someone because they were complaining about people being upset at the game. I'm sorry you don't think trans genocide is a big deal. What an incredible way to devalue the word genocide. A literal genocide on these people, they say. I love this. This is great. I need more of this. This little news outlet called Games Hub says, "Hogwarts Legacy does not deserve to be reviewed on its own merits," and this guy in the quote retweet says, "Wrong. So you damn hundreds of game devs who made this game and millions of Potter fans because of the sins of the mother type crap, they even added a non-binary option and you meet a trans character in it. I doubt they agree with the original author on everything. Stop encouraging harassment." Now in response to this sentiment, this random guy says, "As a game developer, I want to say, please don't use supporting the devs as an excuse to buy the racist Wizard game. The devs already got paid. You aren't supporting them with your purchase. Don't use us as a prop in your arguments." When did the game become racist? What layer was that? I missed that point. I didn't see that part. When did J.K. Rowling say the gamer word? I didn't hear it. Anyway, going another layer deep, this guy in the quote retweet says, "As a game developer who worked on this game in particular, Hogwarts Legacy, I just want to say, Jason is wrong. Many members of the dev team have compensation packages tied to the game's reception and performance. Sales of the game do in fact support the devs." Alright, final tweet before I get into the anime girls. This person says, "Introducing have they streamed that wizardgame.com. Find out if anyone you follow on Twitch has streamed that new Wizard game." Boy, I wonder what the intent behind linking this was. I wonder why you would do that. Just gonna take a shot in the dark here, but I'm thinking it was probably to encourage some kind of harassment towards these people who just wanted to play a game on livestream. And wouldn't you believe it, that's exactly what happened. So this VTuber, Pika Me, says, "I am just a kettle who wants to play the games. Playing this game doesn't mean I'm supporting something specific. I just want to play the game, that's all. I hope everyone will have a wonderful day." Would you believe that she immediately got backlash so severe that she cancelled the stream of said game? Now in the aftermath of this, another VTuber announced her plans to defy the bullies and show that anyone could stream this game. She released this nice little video which I will show for you now.
"We are going to play a game, and I will preface this that I do not condone the ideals of this author. I just want to be a fucking wizard, and I want to play my wizard game that made my childhood worth living and the adventures that I went on with my friends. And I'm gonna be a fucking wizard, and we're gonna enjoy this fucking game. And I will not be bullied by a bunch of Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives. Be nice to people. If you want to make changes, go make actual changes instead of harassing streamers on the internet. LGBT people are awesome. Twitter people are not awesome. Fuck you. Wizard game!
I really love the idea and sentiment behind this video. She even uses the word freak a lot, which I love the word freak, y'all know me, but I just cannot stand VTubers for longer than like a minute at a time. They make me sick to my stomach. All this screaming and shit hurts my ears. Now, in response to this stream clip, this person says, "Twitter freaks with nothing better to do with their goddamn lives, calling trans and Jewish people freaks at a time when there is an unprecedented push to make our existence illegal. This is why liberals will always side with fascists as long as they get to enjoy their treat. Hey man, if you hear the words Twitter freaks and immediately think of trans and Jewish people, that's on you. Also, what was that final statement? Liberals will always side with fascists? First of all, did she establish that she was liberal? Also, that doesn't make sense. None of that makes sense. Are you saying like old school liberals, like the old definition, like in the 70s kind of thing? Or what are we talking about? I don't know shit about politics, but I gotta say, something about that just does not track. Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, maybe it's the fact that liberal comes from the Latin word liber, which means free, which is kind of the opposite of something authoritarian like fascism. I mean, I don't really associate people like Hitler and Mussolini with freedom. But this is not the end of the Silver Veil drama. Seeing this news article on my Twitter feed is actually what made me want to make this video. See, it says, VTuber Silver Veil claims to be doxxed because of Hogwarts Legacy. Now, doxing is always bad, but for a VTuber, it's like their worst fucking nightmare because they're anonymous for a reason. Their target demographic is freaks and anime fans, just like me and my audience. And you really don't want degenerates of my variety knowing where you are and what you look like. It's kind of the idea of keeping honest men honest. And as you would expect, Silver Veil was rightfully upset about this situation, which led to her discussing it on livestream and ultimately getting pretty emotional. So if you find the anime girls crying a little bit upsetting, then go ahead and skip forward. Anyway, here's the video.
And harassment and doxing and people doxing my friends and like so much horrible, vile things, all from streaming a fucking video game.
Man, I know she doesn't want to like reveal her face or whatever, but like doing this while you have the anime girl in front of me is actually really funny because she's still smiling. She's not built to detect sadness, and it's just hilarious. I'm trying to hold back laughter and I'm doing a bad job of it. I'm like Ethan Klein right now laughing at some crying woman.
If you are able to look at women who are not selling themselves or benefiting off of being seen sexually,
let this be a lesson to any VTubers going forwards. If you're gonna have a little breakdown like this, please try and freeze the avatar or do something, because I'm having trouble not laughing at someone who I agree with, and this is like it's a modestly serious situation. I mean, goddamn. But yeah, this is pretty disgusting behavior. This whole hate mob just targeting people because they want to play a game, doxing them, harassing them, trying to, you know, ruin their lives for no reason. It's just, it makes no sense. It's kind of stupid. I hate it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Sorry if this was kind of a lackluster comeback. It's like 90 degrees in my room and it's the middle of February. I have no idea what's going on. I can't even really think straight. It's kind of driving me up a wall. But if you manage to find some modicum of enjoyment out of this video, please do not hesitate. Please subscribe to me. I'm the greatest. You'll love me. You'll love my other content. If you didn't like this, you'll love my other videos. Click on those until you're feeling ready to subscribe. I love you. My name is, has been, and will be Crucimix. Goodbye. Oh yeah, also thanks for getting me to 200 subscribers. That was kind of nice of you guys. Think I might shoot for 1,000 by the end of this year. I know that's kind of a lofty goal, but I think I'm gonna make it happen. As long as I stop taking month-long breaks. Anyway, peace.